I was like, at first going like, oh, you know,
we'll be all right.
We'll be okay. When we almost beat that team.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. In fact, we should have beaten them. We should have beaten them. We just missed.
That first time.
We missed a ton of shots we should have made. They made some lucky shots. You know, it was just one of those things. And then we were starting to round into shape, and I thought we were going to be a pretty good team, and then he broke his finger, and it's like, he's the only player on the team.
Playing? Is that how he broke it?
Yeah, at practice.
Okay.
We had practice, and he's like, and it wasn't like one of those things where like it happened, and he immediately like was like, oh, my finger hurts. It was like after practice, he was like, oh, my finger hurts. And I was like, okay, well, and it swelled up. It got real. I mean, it was like way bigger than his other finger. But I thought he just like jammed it. You know, yeah. It's a common thing in basketball. So we iced it, and it seemed to get better, and then it got worse. And then we had a game that Saturday, and I made him play. I don't make him play, but he wanted to play. He said he was good. He didn't hurt him. He played. And then a couple days later, he's like, it still hurts. It's still, and I said, okay, we'll take him to the doctor. And then they did x-rays, and oh yeah, it's fractured.
Oh, damn.
So then the next day he went to an orthopedic doctor, and they told him, well, you could use just a splint, but you have to keep it on all the time, and you can't move it. You know, you got to be careful, and that's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
so
that's what I had. I had that as a kid, a finger splint.
So they were like, well, then we can fully cast it. So they put a hard cast on.
Oh, that's good. You as a parent don't have to worry about it as much either.
And then we're like, which sucks from the standpoint of, well, that basically killed basketball season.
Yep.
Because he had to wear the cast throughout the season. He didn't complain about it until after.
It's more of a nagging thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was complaining about it, and we were like, oh, it's just jammed. You probably just strained it a little bit, and so we didn't do anything about it for a week. I made him play basketball with it. We won the fucking game, though, all right? I just want to say that.
Jesus, dude. This is, now we know where it all comes from. Who's the parent that everybody else is afraid of?
There is no doubt about where my child's although I will give him credit. He actually I thought he would be destroyed by the Super Bowl, and he didn't. He took it pretty well.
That's good.
How did you take it?
I was fine. It was such a shitty experience.
Yeah.
The game sucked.
The
game sucked, and I knew they weren't going to win.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
you wanted them to have a good game.
Well, at the same time as I knew they weren't going to win, they were in the game. It wasn't like it was a blowout.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I could emotionally divest from the game.
Right.
I still had to be emotionally.
It wasn't a good game, though.
It was a terrible game.
So boring.
It was boring as fuck. It was a shitty game.
Like, I'd like them to have an exciting game even if they don't win.
The defense was great. I mean, but even within the defense, it wasn't like there was a ton of great defensive plays. It was just a lot of they just were. The defense was so good they couldn't
like the
do
game
anything.
Happen.
Neither team could do anything. I mean, if you'd have told me that the Rams hold them to 13 points before the game,
you would have thought
I would have guaranteed a win.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it was just such a boring game the whole time.
But that halftime show, wow!
Oh my god,
the Maroon 5.
I didn't get to tell you my joke about. Oh well, I already told Jacob.
What's your joke about Maroon 5?
Well, because I know every year that you have a tradition of betting on the set.
Yeah.
The set. But of course, nobody wants to actually watch that. So I called it the Kobayashi Maroon 5. You have to watch it to know that
the answer.
But you have to watch Maroon 5. So it's the no-win scenario.
Well, I told Jordan because we did. He said, "What's the bet?" And I said, "Well, I only know 2 Maroon 5 songs, so I'll take both of them." And they played both of them.
Yeah.
So
I like his voice. I think he has a cool singing voice.
What I thought was fantastic, though, was afterwards was how many people were pissed off that he took his shirt off, and that was okay with everybody. But Janet Jackson showing her nipple pisses people off.
Because a female nipple man.
That
Watch
is
out.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's been a few years, but yeah.
What I will say, we figured it out. It's the
been
15 year.
15 years. Can you believe that?
It's the 15-year anniversary of it.
Yeah.
I still think Justin Timberlake was a bit of a tool for not bringing Janet Jackson on last year.
Yeah.
I thought that because it was his fucking fault that her boob fell out. He ripped her clothes off.
Yep.
And he didn't take shit for it.
And did he really defend it as well?
He kind of
shied away from it.
Well, there was so much heat going on around that. It was kind of
Well,
ridiculous.
yeah, I mean.
So, it's kind of like, let's get sci-fi about it and imagine what you would do if all that pressure in your career is just launching because you are a couple
Sure.
years into having the best solo album of all time.
Right. But that's why I'm saying.
And the money, I mean,
it would have been
fines and the,
Yeah.
Anyway.
But that's why I think it would have been really super cool of him to bring her on
definitely.
stage.
And I felt like Prince, when he kind of was doing his thing, was sort of saying, Janet, it's okay. Like when he was like stroking his guitar.
Wow.
Was that after?
That was after.
Was after. Okay. Yeah, you're right. It was after.
That
might have been a nod to her.
No, the best part about that one was when they brought down the white sheet and it was a shadow of him.
It was
the
him,
guitar,
Austin Powers.
and
with
it was just full on, just like, look at my cock.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Fucking love
But maybe
it.
that's always okay. And if she'd done that with her boobs, it wouldn't. I don't know. It's tricky.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Everyone needs to chill out.
I don't think that women should want men to look at their breasts, but I think women that want men to look at their breasts should be able to.
Well, and also like everybody needs to calm down about nipples.
Yeah.
But
And I don't know.
But so was it planned or no? Is that still debated?
I think
'Cause,
because lawyers are involved, nobody can like.
I don't think anyone will ever admit that it was intended.
Intentional.
Yeah.
I mean, it was intentional to take a bit of her clothes off because it's "I'll have you naked by the end of the song" is the line. When it
Yeah.
Right.
But whether
Yeah.
it was an actual malfunction or whether they were deciding to up the ante,
I don't think it ruined any kids.
it's America's famous cold case.
Yeah.
Jesus. It's the greatest unsolved mystery.
Nipplegate and the Black
The
Dahlia.
world may never know.
Yep.
Do we want to know? Is it one of those things we like to?
I don't think I want to know.
I don't really care.
Yeah,
think I
will
care.
it be interesting to know who Jack the Ripper is at this point?
It's Edmund Rosalind Don. What? I don't know who that is.
me, Piglet.
God damn it! I knew it.
I know.
Should we start the
Sure.
show?
All right. Wait, I'm looking at the font. I'm getting it in my head.
All right, I see
font
dolphins
time.
popping. I
In three.
see.
2, 1.
Font time.
By any other name.
Goodbye. Yeah, there
Thank you.
go.
I suppressed a very strong nacho-related belch.
Oh, nice.
Fart. No, I would have just let that one go.
Yeah, it's so far away from the microphone. That would have been for all of us.
Oh,
All
God.
right, let's punch that triangle.
Let's punch
Stop,
it.
punch it.
Welcome back to another episode of Warp.